We're counting down 10 remarkable secrets that reveal the hidden side of Secretariat's legend. From heartwarming behind-the-scenes moments and surprising training quirks to record-shattering performances and scientific discoveries that stunned the racing world, each entry uncovers a new layer of what made him extraordinary. Some truths challenge popular myths, others spotlight human drama and unsolved debates, and the top spot ties it all together in a way few fans expect. Let's begin our journey with number 10. Secretariat wasn't just a racing machine. He had a gentle, almost playful side that drew people in long before the world knew his name. At Meadow Stable, fan mail arrived by the sack, piling up faster than anyone could answer. Children sent hand-drawn cards. Reporters found him as curious about them as they were about him, sometimes catching him posing for their cameras, head cocked, ears pricked, as if he knew exactly what they wanted. Penny Chenery's photo albums are filled with shots of Secretariat nuzzling his jockey, Ron Turcotte, during quiet afternoons in the paddock. Moments when the cameras weren't supposed to be rolling. But perhaps no one knew him better than his groom, Eddie Sweat. Every morning, Eddie would slip him a carrot, whispering encouragement as he brushed that famous chestnut coat. Sweat once said that a groom gets closer to a horse than anyone. These small, everyday rituals, sharing a treat, pausing for a photo, greeting fans, revealed a champion who seemed to enjoy the spotlight, but never lost his warmth. Before the records and the roar of the crowd, Secretariat's legend began with simple acts of kindness and the people who loved him most. At Claiborne Farm, Secretariat's retirement sparked a wave of expectations that his greatness would pass directly to his offspring. Syndicated for a record $6.08 million, his stud career was watched as closely as his races. Over 16 seasons, Secretariat sired 663 foals. Breeders and fans hoped for another Triple Crown winner, but the numbers told a more complicated story. Only 54 of those foals became stakes winners, an 8% success rate. Solid, but not the kind of dominance some predicted. None of his sons ever wore the roses at the Kentucky Derby. Still, his influence found its way into the sport through other channels. Risen Star, one of his colts, captured the Preakness and Belmont in 1988. Tinner's Way, another, won back-to-back Pacific Classics. And through his daughters, Secretariat's blood runs in the veins of champions like A P Indy and Lady's Secret. The stud books at Claiborne record a legacy that is complex, not a dynasty of direct heirs, but a far-reaching web that shaped generations of thoroughbreds. The numbers may have surprised those who expected another legend, but the mark he left on the breed remains unmistakable. Secretariat's rise wasn't all smooth gallops and perfect form. Early on, at Hialeah in Florida, he was known for being awkward. His long legs sometimes seemed to get tangled underneath him, and stable hands joked about his clumsy starts. Trainer Lucien Laurin remembered those first months, watching the colt find his balance and confidence. Laurin later said that he was ready, but he had to learn. The winter regimen in Florida shaped Secretariat's body and mind. Mornings started with a strict feeding ritual. Oats measured to the ounce, hay always fresh, and stable hands noting his moods. If Secretariat turned his nose up at breakfast, everyone paid attention. He was that in tune with his routine. His racing debut at Aqueduct on July 4, 1972 did not go as planned. Secretariat got bumped hard at the break and was shuffled far back in the pack. Most horses would have faded, but not this one. He closed with a powerful surge, finishing fourth but catching the eye of every trainer on the grounds. Behind the scenes, Laurin and his staff adjusted workouts, focusing on balance and responsiveness. Over the following months, Secretariat's quirks faded as his focus sharpened. Those early hiccups in training set the stage for the partnership with jockey Ron Turcotte, a bond built on trust, patience, and a horse finally comfortable in his own stride. Ron Turcotte climbed aboard Secretariat for the first time in 1972. And it did not take long for the pair to develop a silent understanding that would change racing history. Turcotte was not just a passenger. He was a tactician, reading every twitch of Secretariat's ears and every shift of muscle beneath the saddle. Their partnership reached its peak in races like the Bayshore Stakes, where Turcotte threaded Secretariat through a wall of horses, waiting for the perfect gap before unleashing that famous burst of speed. Turcotte said he knew Secretariat was going 1.5 miles, and he never had to push him. This was not luck or guesswork. Turcotte's approach was to settle early, then surge. It became their signature move. He trusted Secretariat to find his rhythm, never fighting for control, always letting the horse's instincts lead. That trust paid off in crowded fields, where a split-second decision could mean the difference between victory and defeat. Even in the chaos of the pack, Turcotte's calm hands and Secretariat's raw power worked as one. Photos from the Meadow Stable archives show the two side by side, Turcotte grinning in the saddle, Secretariat's head turned as if listening for a cue. Their bond was more than routine. It was a conversation in motion, and it set the stage for the tactical brilliance that would define their greatest races. Penny Chenery's journey with Secretariat began with a gamble and a promise. In 1969, a simple coin toss with Ogden Phipps decided which foal would belong to Meadow Stable and which would go north to New York. The coin landed in Chenery's favor, and with it, the future of Meadow Stable changed course. At that time, the farm was teetering on the edge, her father's health was failing, bills were mounting, and the family business faced the real prospect of being sold off. Penny, a housewife with little experience in the racing world, stepped in and took charge. Letters from that era show her balancing family, finances, and the weight of expectation, all while convincing trainer Lucien Laurin to come out of retirement to handle her unproven colt. The risks did not end at the foaling barn. As Secretariat's talent became clear, Chenery made another bold move. She syndicated the colt for breeding before his Triple Crown run, selling 32 shares for a then record of $6.08 million. This deal secured Meadow Stable's future, but meant Secretariat's racing days would be numbered, no matter how many records he shattered. Behind every stride on the track, there was a web of decisions, hopes, and financial risks. The story of Secretariat is as much about the people who believed in him as it is about the horse himself. Chenery's faith, Lauren's expertise, and the willingness to risk everything created the foundation for a legend. Secretariat's records have always drawn scrutiny, but none more than the times that clocked his legendary runs. At the 1973 Kentucky Derby, the official time, 1 minute 59 2/5, was hand-timed, not by machine. The teletimer at Churchill Downs malfunctioned that day, forcing officials to rely on stopwatch readings from track clockers. For decades, purists debated whether Secretariat truly broke the 2-minute barrier, or if human error crept in. The daily racing form's expert timers, who had tracked thousands of races, stood by the hand-timed figure, and their chart carried the 1 minute 59 2/5 mark, with a footnote challenging the teletimer's reliability. The Preakness Stakes brought even more controversy. Pimlico's electronic timer posted 1 minute 55, slower than the eye suggested. Two seasoned daily racing form clockers, Frank Robinson and Frenchie Schwartz, independently clocked Secretariat at 1 minute 53 2/5, a full second, and change facet. Trainer Lucien Laurin demanded a review, and the Maryland Racing Commission convened a hearing. Despite video evidence and split-screen analysis showing Secretariat outpacing previous record holder Canonero II, the commission stuck to its rules, upholding the slower official time. Nearly 40 years later, Penny Chenery pressed for the truth. In 2012, digital analysts dissected the original CBS broadcast frame by frame. Their findings left no doubt. Secretariat had finished in 1 minute 53 flat. The Maryland Racing Commission voted unanimously to correct the record, finally confirming what the clockers and the crowd had witnessed in real time. Secretariat became the only horse to hold the fastest official times in all 3 Triple Crown races. His legend verified not just by memory, but by modern forensic proof. Secretariat's stamina on the track did not come out of nowhere. It was written deep into his pedigree. The name Prince Quillo appears on the dam's side, a stallion whose career was defined by long-distance strength and cool efficiency. Breeding records and the work of pedigree analysts like Evelyn Hunter point to Prince Quillo as a major source of endurance in Secretariat's bloodline. His dam something royal passed along more than just a name. She carried a reputation for producing foals with exceptional staying power, a trait often associated with Prince Quillo's descendants. Racing historians have long debated the X-factor theory, which suggests that an unusually large heart, a trait sometimes visible in Prince Quillo's line, can be passed down through the maternal side. While no modern DNA test has confirmed this, stud book references and necropsy summaries have kept the idea alive. Prince Quillo's influence shows up again and again in the charts of great distance runners, not just in Secretariat, but in other champions as well. Still, experts caution against drawing direct lines between a single ancestor and a champion's entire career. Genetics in thoroughbreds are complex, and stamina is only one piece of the puzzle. But for those who study the records, Prince Quillo's legacy stands out, a quiet force behind Secretariat's ability to maintain speed when others faded, shaping a champion's story before he ever set hoof on a racetrack. 50 years after Secretariat thundered down the stretch at Belmont, his name still anchors the records for all 3 Triple Crown races. No other horse has ever set the fastest official time in the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, and the Belmont Stakes, and kept those records for decades. The sweep began at Churchill Downs, where Secretariat completed the Derby in under 2 minutes, a barrier that had never been broken before. 2 weeks later at Pimlico, he crossed the Preakness finish line so quickly that the timing itself became a matter for courts and commissions. It took nearly 40 years and modern forensic video analysis to confirm what fans and clockers had insisted all along. Secretariat's Preakness run was the fastest ever, officially recorded at 1 minute 53 seconds. Then came the Belmont, where he didn't just win, he redefined what was possible, finishing 1.5 miles in 2 minutes, 24 seconds, a record that has never even been approached. Other champions have won the Triple Crown, but none have left their mark on the stopwatch like Secretariat. Horses have tried and failed to match his times, some coming close, most falling well short. The numbers are more than just statistics. They are a testament to a rare combination of speed, stamina, and heart. Each spring, new contenders line up, hoping to chase history. Yet year after year, Secretariat's records remain untouched, standing as silent proof of a standard that may never be surpassed. June 9th, 1973. Belmont Park. The gates fly open, and Secretariat breaks sharply from the rail, settling into stride beside Sham. For the first half mile, the 2 colts run nearly nose to nose, clocking an opening quarter in 24 seconds, fast but measured. The crowd's roar builds as the pair swings through the first turn. On the backstretch, something extraordinary begins. Secretariat edges ahead, then quickens. By the 3/4 mile mark, his lead stretches from a single length to 5 lengths, then 10 lengths. With each powerful stride, the gap widens. Sham fades, the field disappears behind him. The track announcer Sheik Anderson calls out that Secretariat is widening now and that he is moving like a tremendous machine. At the mile pole, Secretariat's split is 1 minute 34 and 1/5 seconds, faster than most horses run a flat mile, and he is still accelerating. Ron Turcotte sits motionless in the irons, holding the reins with almost no pressure, letting Secretariat's engine run. The far turn brings a surge that defies belief. By the top of the stretch, the lead is 20 lengths and growing. The only question left is how far he will go. The final time flashes on the board, 2 minutes, 24 seconds flat for 1.5 miles. No horse had ever run faster, and none has since. The margin, 31 lengths, is so vast that the camera struggles to keep both Secretariat and the rest of the field in the frame. Race charts confirm the splits, every quarter run in under 25 seconds until the last, a sustained pace that would exhaust any ordinary champion. But Secretariat's stride never falters. Even as he crosses the wire alone, the crowd in stunned silence before erupting into cheers. Every frame of footage, every line in the official chart, every number on the stopwatch points to the same conclusion. This was not just a victory, but a masterpiece of speed, stamina, and heart. The 1973 Belmont became the standard by which all greatness in racing is measured. Secretariat's final chapter delivered a revelation that still echoes through the world of horse racing. When he died at Claiborne Farm on October 4, 1989, his body was sent to the University of Kentucky for a full necropsy. Dr. Thomas Swerchek, a veteran pathologist who had examined thousands of thoroughbreds, led the procedure. What he found inside Secretariat's chest stunned even the most seasoned professionals. The heart was immense, estimated at 22 pounds, nearly 2.5 times the weight of an average racehorse heart, which typically falls between 8 and 10 pounds. Yet it was flawless. No signs of disease, no thickened walls, no defects. Swerchek described it as perfect, a natural engine built for endurance and speed. The number 22 pounds became racing legend almost overnight. Swerchek had not weighed the heart directly, but he had a rare point of comparison. 4 years later, he performed a necropsy on Sham, Secretariat's most famous rival, and recorded that heart at 18 pounds. Even among elite athletes, Secretariat's heart was in a league of its own. Chain of custody records at Claiborne Farm and the University of Kentucky confirm the necropsy's legitimacy. No photographs of the heart were ever released, adding a layer of mystery to the story, but Swerchek's testimony has never been challenged by other experts. The heart's size, while extraordinary, was not the result of any abnormality or disease. It was simply larger, stronger, and more efficient than any Swerchek had encountered. He called it a huge engine, capable of pumping oxygen-rich blood at a rate that allowed Secretariat to maintain blistering speed without fatigue. This discovery fueled decades of debate over the so-called X factor, the theory that a gene for an oversized heart can be passed down through certain bloodlines, possibly tracing back to Prince Quilo, Secretariat's maternal grandsire. While modern genetics has yet to confirm the theory outright, the evidence from the necropsy gave new weight to the idea that some champions are born with more than just talent. They are built differently, from the inside out. Veterinary experts like Dr. Larry Bramlage have weighed in, pointing out that while heart size alone does not guarantee greatness, Secretariat's combination of physical perfection and genetic heritage is unmatched. The necropsy findings are documented in Claiborne Farm's veterinary summaries, and the story is recounted in racing archives, scientific journals, and Bill Nack's celebrated writing. Secretariat's heart became the final, irrefutable clue to his greatness, a physiological marvel that explained the impossible margins, the record-shattering times, and the effortless way he seemed to glide past his rivals. In the end, the legend of Secretariat is anchored not only in what he did on the track, but in what was discovered after the cheering stopped. A heart big enough, quite literally, to carry a champion into immortality. Across all 10 secrets, one pattern stands out. Greatness is rarely just what we see on race day. It is the quirks, controversies, and layers beneath the legend that keep Secretariat's story alive. Even decades later, his legacy is not just about speed. It is about the mysteries that still captivate us. Thanks for watching. Let us know which secret surprised you most.